if you're stopped on the side of the road and you want to make sure your vehicle stopped for a while, or there's another vehicle that's stopped that doesn't have lights, right? And you want to make sure that oncoming traffic doesn't smash into the back of this vehicle. So you'd put out like a set of lights back home, but what they've got here is they've got these flares that you're lighting up, right? And they put us through this session on how to light up flares and prop them up and what angles to put it on. The angles are the same as what we would set it up, but we would just use lights, right? Red and blue flashing lights. And I said, look, there's a whole bunch of issues with this, right? Firstly, flares, if people don't know about them, like they get to like 1,000 degrees Celsius. So cops aren't all that smart and they'll just like grab them. Even when they've gone out, they'll just grab them and maybe like throw them in the back of the boot of a car or something like that. And that's like, firstly, they'll burn their hand and then they can burn their car, or they'll throw it in. They might throw it in the bush or something like that, right? Or if the flare is being lit over a grassed area, you can cause a fire. Like it would definitely be a problem in Australia. It's a little bit more lush over here, but it could still be a problem. You could still start a grass fire potentially, right? And also the flares go out every like 30 minutes. So you've got to like light more up. And I'm like, oh, so like, have you guys ever thought about lights? Like having lit flares? Like we got those back home. Like that, firstly, they flash red and blue. So like, that's police.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, like they last for a lot longer. And thirdly, they're not like really, really hot and can cause fires and stuff like that, and like risky to light because they're a naked flame and all that. Like I'll just say something like that, and you go, "Oh no, they're terrible." Like the batteries can die on those. I'm like, what? The batteries can die on them? But these flares go out every 30 minutes, and like I told you, it's like a multiple list of things that are wrong with this thing. So I was like, when I heard that, he goes, "Oh no, they're terrible." Like you can, the batteries would go out on them every 5 minutes. I'm like, what? That never happened. You just swap them out. You just use someone else's. Like it was just stuff like that. They try and run this department on like low funds, but they've also maybe people just like they just haven't thought of other alternatives and they're not interested in listening either. Like and like another one is we did a whole week of field sobriety testing. Like you see on TV where people are doing like, now watch this, and they're doing that. Well, we did that. And I'm like, why aren't you using preliminary breath test devices as an initial measurement that takes about 7 seconds to do, and then it'll come up with a result that will give you an indicator of alcohol in their breath, and then you can take them back to the station and put them on a calibrated machine, which both Australia and the US require you to put them on a calibrated machine, but they've got an initial preliminary process of like, we indicate that like you're intoxicated or you're driving, we need you to come back, right? We use PBTs back home. They're like 3.5, I don't know, maybe $5,000 now, these devices. And that's what I suspect the reason why we don't use them over here. They just want the officers to do these sobriety tests. And they're like, oh no, they're not accurate. I'm like, holding my tongue, and I'm like, not from my experience. They are very, very accurate, even though they are not a official device that we're going to be using, for court. You do the test later on, but they are far more accurate than like you trying to like look at a person's eyes and see if you've got like an nystagmus, which is like a shuddering of the eye, which occurs involuntarily when you're intoxicated. Along with like the walk and turn test, and then you hold your foot in the air test. So the stand on one leg test. So we're getting people to run those tests. And I'm like, that's so subjective compared to just getting a person to blow into this device